Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Rome 1 Remastered with this Macedonian campaign. So there's been a little bit of a break here in the content that's been released, as I have been upgrading and getting a new computer. So I decided, you know what, there's no point in recording anything on that old one. So I'll just wait until the new one arrives, and it took a little bit longer than I thought, but now it's here, and hopefully that should be alright. I did actually record an episode yesterday.
I will speak with them.
However, I had not apparently checked everything just as well as I thought, and it had only recorded my voice, and it hadn't recorded the game sounds, so that was a bit awkward, and I was not able to redo it immediately. Anyways, we're doing it now, and also I kinda need a recap myself, because it's been a while since I'm back. But I do note that we have pushed the Greek city-states out of Greece, essentially. This is the last remnant, and they're on its way to... I'm not entirely sure how they plan to get back to their own territory, but it looks like they're just going to hide within the Thracian territory. The Thracians, of course, which have gathered quite the army within our own territories. It looks like they're going to war with us. Now, I have, because they've done it so obviously and taken so long time to build up the forces here, I've been able to build up quite the force myself in Bylasora, up here in the northernmost northern town. It is not that far from the capital, but as of yet we do not have enough of these phalanx pikemen to be sent north. I was moving towards being able to... I thought I was to be able to recruit like royal phalanx pikemen. We haven't gotten that far. And also there's been quite a step up here in recruiting naval forces. Hopefully we'll be able to... Ah, yes, now I remember what I did yesterday. As we had quite a disastrous Roman invasion at one point, we definitely need to know when the Romans are coming. So I moved a lot of generals to the coast to build towers. So we're going to build towers all along the coast, so that we have a very good early warning system to note when the Romans are crossing the sea to come and attack us. Up here we've got remnants of rebel force, or not really rebel, independent city. They do not have a lot to stand against us, so I believe this is just an easy out-resolve, as I have almost 3,000. I outnumber them actually, but about 2,000 men, so they don't have a lot to put up against me. Night fight doesn't seemingly change that much. They were still able to kill 216. I know that I played it myself yesterday, and I was able to reduce that, but I think just being able to move quickly past this might give me more time in this episode to actually deal with the Thracians. We're gonna occupy it. The population of 800 or so. Normally I do exterminate, because it's easier to keep the populace under control after you exterminate them. If there's no one left to you know, challenge your ruling, then obviously that is for the better. However, this town only comprises about 1,200 people or so, so if I kill 800 of them, that wouldn't leave very many people. Yes, I did even remember the population amount, so it was 1,245. At this point there's more soldiers in town than there are actual people. Maybe quite an awkward situation for the people living in the town. We're gonna start repairing this, and I'm gonna build a road because the king needs to be moving north quite rapidly. He cannot recruit any troops here. Well, since there's only 1200, I don't need to leave that many troops. So let's just leave one of the levy pikemen and this kind of broken down bowman. I think that should be enough. Yeah, plenty enough to hold them under our control. So we're gonna start moving north immediately. And the idea here is that I'm gonna march to the bridge. Now, it would be quite nasty if they sent all these down to take this area right here, but they're not. They're actually sending Captain Spartacus down this road here, and I do think they are intending to take the newest acquisition of the Macedonian Empire, because it's also the weakest place. So I think that's where they're going. Or I know I wasn't able to play that much last time, but I know that they're gonna wear off down this road here or down into this area rather than go down here, hopefully. Maybe now with me changing my strategy, they will change their own. One thing that I forgot here is I did stay with my general here a little bit longer just so I could build a tower, which I probably should actually do. I built a tower about there, which actually made it so that I could see the Roman town on the other side, which would be great. They have built up quite the port here compared to my own, but we will, for the best of our ability, contest the seas, the high seas, against the Romans. There's not much more I can do here for this turn, so we'll go ahead and end turn and see if we can't come to blows with the Thracians.
Ships ready!
And there we are back after the end turn. Everything seems to be going as according to plan. If I move through here, yes, just like last time, the Gauls have actually moved down and laid siege to Salona, and the Illyrians, the Illyrian mercenaries living in that region. We're gonna go ahead and march to the coast. We're gonna build ourselves a tower. I think I might have to go there. There we go. There I can build it, and then back to the army. And then we march up there. So now we can actually see the Brutii capital. So we'll know if they're gonna launch anything there. And with this guy now marched into this area, we should be able to set up another tower over here, and now our coast system is set up so that I have good view over the area here, ready to send my ships that way to sink any enemies coming that way. And I should actually start moving the fleets over there. We've got a pirate fleet up here. Should probably see about sinking that. A very veteran one. I didn't realize they were that veteran. And the army will fight to the death. Clear defeat. None of my ships were sunk though, but they took a heavy beating. I imagine the enemy took a heavy beating as well. That's something I need to do. Damn! What a force! Actually, that helped me out, the fact that my fleet was sent over here, and the fact that we were able to see this force right here. Tons and tons of hoplites have been recruited on this island, ready to be sent against us to try and reconquer. So I've been worried about seeing if troops come from here. There's a massive force gathering in the east. Huh. Maybe I'm not so quick to send my ships into fights that I do not know if they can actually win. We'll have to bolster the troops. One first step would possibly be to move over here. This area doesn't even have a what's it called? Doesn't even have walls. So a very small force could be able to move in there and take that out. Let's go with levy pikemen just for... This is just to add on a little bit, so we can take 3 levy pikemen, put them on a ship, go over, take that. Definitely send a general with that to make sure to build towers here as well, so I can see a lot around that area, which would be good. But then we continue moving to the north.
Yes, my lord.
As we're going to war with the Thracians, I want to make sure that we do not get any more attacking us. So I'm going to see if I can strike an alliance with the Dacians.
No more moves, sir. Your honor.
And not only are we going to send
out the
our
competition.
diplomat over there, but our merchant is going to move over there as well. So I'll be able to set up trade. I have been doing a lot more... Well, I had quite a... I've been playing a lot with the...
Yes, master.
what's it called? The Barbarian Invasion campaign. So I've been playing this a lot, kind of figuring it out without sort of playing through this campaign specifically to know kind of what's coming in this one. Just more so I know how the game works and so on. I should also note here a little bit of a side note, kind of a big one actually, is that of course this one, as predicted, this campaign is not as popular as some of my others have been, which I'm not that surprised, because that's normally what happens when I play anything that isn't Napoleon or Empire. But I should be moving to actually play Napoleon Empire again. The thing is, for Napoleon, I've actually talked with the creators of the World War I mod, and they are interested in having me do one of the Western Front campaign. Specifically, what he wanted was France or Germany. But they had to sort some stuff out first, try to solve the Ottoman bug before they wanted to give me another go at that. So that kind of locks Napoleon away. So I'll leave it open. So it could be something else than Empire, but most likely it's gonna be Empire and a mod for Empire. So that will be coming within a few days, some kind of vote, as we usually do. Anyways, there's no more moves to be made here. Maybe more troops to be recruited. But other than that, let's go ahead and end turn. And this should be the turn where the Thracians attack. So let's go ahead and prepare for that.
We are under siege!
So the Thracians have moved on the attack, but also we had a Dacian spy just move out of the town. Which I don't really like, the fact that they are spying on us. But we are moving there to secure an alliance, hopefully. And just as predicted, the Captain Spartacus is moving through the hillsides here to come and attack us, and my king will move to meet him. Now their army is quite large, it's almost a full stack with 3,000 men against my king, which has 2,400, so it's not that bad. And most of this army is quite weak troops, militia hop hoplites, flaxmen, peltas, militia cavalry. So it's not a really great army. My spies gonna be able to figure out even more of the troops in there. So yeah, it's a lot of, although a lot of the kiting troops is not that dangerous though against my army at this point. An earlier army of militia hoplites might have been worse, but now I have heavy Macedonian cavalry to just ride them all down. So shouldn't pose too much of a problem up there. And then we'll move this guy over here. We start to move some of these troops together for our expedition to the island of Crete. And we'll get the Cretan archers out there. So, I kind of want to attack this guy, but at the same time not. So, we're gonna make sure that we are well and truly in favor of victory by building a load of ships and taking control of our coast, which is going to be most important given the area we're in. Let's leave our spy in this area and see what's going on. I should say. I imagine the Gauls will actually take the town. Sicilian pirates? Interesting. Where is it, Sicilian? Yeah, it's Sicilian. Oh no, it's not actually Sicilian pirates, it's Cilician pirates. That's what it is. Not Sicilian.
Move out.
Moving north. Troops and troops, so on and so forth. This guy actually gained 2 stars from fighting the pirates. That's interesting. Thing is, I would stick around to see these guys actually unload onto a ship, but now with this actually getting quite good stars, I want to save this admiral and his fleet. And I imagine, oh, great, I ran straight into a Greek fleet. However, they're only manned by 23 men. I'm surprised we weren't able to sink it. But we should be able to move through here and then jump to here, so that will be fine. But we'll have to definitely keep an eye on here. That invasion force is definitely coming for us. Looking at it now, though, with the Thracians actually laying siege to us, I think with the forces I actually have in town, we outnumber them, and the king going all the way around here. It's going to take a while to actually get here. Could I send...
Yes, Strategos.
I might be able to send some of these up north. In case we lose here, I could bring the general of the factionaire, Gyrus, could send him north to deal with this, what remains after what will be quite a bloody battle, I imagine. So it's slightly in favor of the enemy force, but not too much. Both commanders are 23 years old. Silas on the enemy side with about 1,800 men, most of which are peltas, which could be easily rowed down if I had tons of cavalry. I only have my general, and then we have Alios on our side with 2,061, and our guy actually has 1 star. He's probably going to gain 1 more as I intend to win this battle. And without further ado, let's do just that. On my order, so I don't want to march out and then be attacked by these immediately upon starting. So we're actually going to move everyone over to the side, and we're going to march out here, which hopefully will give us time to actually maneuver in peace. So that's how we're going to start it, and then beyond that we'll see what happens. So I'm fearing it's going to be quite difficult to move all these 2,000 men out the same gate, but It's going surprisingly well. Right now, anyways. It's getting a little bit bunched up. A little bit, I say, and we're looking at this absolute mess right here. But it allows me to move. Imagine if I would have done this in front of the enemy. They could have swarmed forward, and given that the militia hoplites has pretty poor morale, the enemy could have easily just morale shocked us very early on and sent us packing back into town with, you know, thousands, or not, maybe not thousands, but hundreds of casualties. It's it's both satisfying and then also really annoying when it happens to you with these mass routes that take place in Rome 1. Must be quite cold here, given that it's winter and they only have the skirt on. Let's prepare battle lines and fight these Thracian scum. I wonder how it would be like to face such a force, or actually be part of such a force, and feel the power of walking with your war brothers, all information like this, towards the enemy. Anyways, the plan is to strike just straight at them through the center and break down some of these troops here. But really what it's going to come down to is my general's bodyguard. So I'm hoping to lock the enemy general's bodyguard into combat with some of my hoplites, even if I have to kind of break the phalanx and just run at him so I can... It's just so I can get my general around, strike him in the back. And that's also part of the plan. That's why I've placed the general over here. He's gonna ride through, smash one of these peltasts, and then move around to start attacking in the back. Now they are starting to throw spears at us, which have gotten that unit to waver, which I don't like. The one corner unit is heavily hit. I'm gonna send these guys off in anticipation of our attack. The enemy general moves closer to the main battle line, and oh, there they go. They run straight into the pikes at the same time. The pikes are ready to face each other over here.
Militia hoplites!
And then these will march through here. Attack. We've broken the enemy up there, and we just broke this militia hoplite. I'm gonna bring all the troops down. These three will march forward towards the general. Oh, enemy cavalry is coming down from up there. The general is moved into the fray, and he's joined into battle over here, which means that he's locked. I want to see if he's losing troops and he's shaken. This is the time. Now is where we win the battle. He's stuck in there, and my general comes in from the back, and suddenly it's chaos as he's smashed in between my troops.
His men know their doom approaches.
Silas is dead. His armies are in disarray. Let's chase them down and destroy them. Let's reorganize this. We have this force up here is unfortunately broken, but there weren't a lot I could do about that. We're gonna reorganize over here. Looks like the enemy cavalry is trying to crush through over there. It's not really gonna work because it's such light cavalry. Hoplites have been chasing these troops away. Now have the phalanx advance on the enemy.
General.
This went a lot better than it went yesterday, even though I basically used the same tactic. I lost about 600 men more yesterday.
Form a phalanx! Attack! Run!
Quickly.
Winded should be fine though.
Unleash.
Hoplites! Form a phalanx!
Although I'm a little bit worried because we did have early on in the campaign, I do remember
Unleash.
our generals,
Units.
or at least one of them, dying quite strangely, just chasing down some odd troops and then just dying. But then on the other hand, we had like, what was he called? What was that guy called? He's in the governor of Corinth, I think, that won quite spectacular battles against the enemy.
Attack.
And the Thracian army is in full retreat. And I imagine at this point, yeah, the troops that are still, they're withdrawing. Right. We'll chase them to the end, but this is victory. We won the battle. The Thracian hordes have been sent out, but the major force still looms as a threat up in the north. So let's see if we can't deal with that one in this episode as well.
Attack quickly.
The enemy are utterly beaten. This is a crushing victory, worthy of a great general.
And that great general is of course me, or in this case, my stand-in, Alius. We can see that we killed 1400, which means that there's only about 400 men left of the enemy army, and they've lost a general. If we look at the actual statistics, we can see that my general killed 1,000 men. Out of all the enemies that we killed, more than half was killed just by the general's bodyguard, and the general's bodyguard only sustained 6 casualties. And as we go through, yeah, you can see the statistics there. For the enemy side, the one that killed the most, we can see, is the militia cavalry. Mostly, I think, because they broke that one protective unit that I placed up there. I say placed, I probably forgot it more as the like, but that one of course broke, and when the enemy cavalry rode that down, that would be why they would have 161, not anywhere near almost 1,000 kills of that. But yes, let's go back to the campaign map and see if we can't get into a battle with the other Thracian army. Victory! And the Thracians run off. We have secured the border, and I no longer need to recruit these types of troops. We're just going to retrain the ones we have here, and then we're going to start getting levy pikemen as they are better. I think this is going to be quite the battle, given that there's quite a few troops here. One thing that I do want to make sure, or want to check though, is the faction rankings. I want to see, really before and after the battle, our military ranking. So they took a dip, as we can see here, which should be noted in this loss, I imagine. And we have a steady gain. After this battle, in this they lost 1,400. Here I'm hoping to destroy everything. So we could imagine quite the dip, killing 3,000 of these, which should be quite good. Let's go ahead and end the turn though, and see if we can't come to blows with them.
Yes, Strategos.
Ships ready! Ready to sail!
There's a lot of pirates and enemy fleets in these waters,
Ready
which
to
is
sail,
making
ready.
it difficult for me to actually get these guys back to port. But it looks like I should be able to
Ready.
send this guy off, and I should be able to then send these
Victory! Ready!
guys to port
Ready.
here, and once this fleet... Oh, did he gain a star? No, he
Ready!
didn't. There, that's how
Yes,
we do it.
sir.
So once this one's ready, that one should really, with a good admiral and a large fleet, should be able to sweep away everyone. And I've been able to recruit
to
even
sail.
more ships all along the
Yes,
coast.
Strategos. Join
Should
the
probably
force.
need a little bit more men for my invasion here. Oh, now there's only one unit in town? Should be quite easy to destroy them then. We can add one of these phalanx pikemen as we cross the seas. There's really a lot of pirates, and then a lot of these Greek city-state fleets. Ah, he's moved within range of our strike. I'm first gonna go ahead and make sure that I know exactly what he got. And it's a load of crap, isn't it? The key is not gonna be how I defeat him, it's gonna be how
Can I be of
I
Yes, my
destroy
lord.
them all. They don't really have a lot of troops
I
here.
shall speak with them
But
at
let's see
once.
if I cannot... Very demanding. Okay, so that... They don't want that. We do have trade rights, though. What if I request you to attack the Thracians, to add to pressure to them? Where do we have the Thracians? There. Very demanding. Even if I could bribe. Wait, can I bribe their capital? It's a balanced offer. I thought this was the capital. Can I bribe... imagine that, I bribe the capital and just take control of it. Not something an ally would do though, and right now I'm not too interested
Buying out the
in
competition.
gaining another enemy. So now we've got our... We know
Yes,
that
my
they
lord.
don't have anything really here, so they're not have any plans to attack us, which is good. There's nothing really to do here. Let's go into battle yet again by striking these.
Destroy them.
So quite even, but this time slightly in favor of me. But I think with the troops that I have, we should be able to just storm over these. But the key though is, as I said, we need to destroy them entirely. I don't want to see this army ever again. Okay, so we start off maneuvering into a god-awful position where the enemy has actually got the high ground, but maybe I should have expected that as he had his back towards the mountain range and I was attacking through the pass towards him. That's not super good,
Units.
the fact that he gets the high ground like that.
Hot chaps.
We'll put these guys in front to screen the advance of all my pikes, although it really isn't gonna go down to the pikes, it's gonna be about the cavalry.
Units. Make haste.
So I think we're gonna gain ground with the cavalry on this side and then we're gonna sweep at them. So we do have plenty of cavalry, and we especially have a huge general's bodyguard for the general. So that's gonna be good. Right. And you know what? I'm just gonna smash through here immediately. And at the same time, they're actually moving on the attack, which I'm quite surprised.
Men of
I'm not too interested though in losing my Cretan archers. Oh, they're just gonna stop and throw their spears, are they? I'm gonna move him back anyways. At the same time, my cavalry is smashing into the right flank. It should be able to send that off almost immediately. We should move most of the troops behind now. Yeah, we just absolutely destroyed all of that. Right, let's just fall on their flanks.
Get it up. Move, move. Light your lancer. Unit. Make haste.
It's all going really bad for them. Their flank is getting utterly destroyed.
Get it up. Attack. Unit. Unit. Shot. Unit. Unit. Shot.
That isn't a pike unit, is it? No. They're all just lightly armored troops everywhere.
The gods have filled the enemy general with fear. Now he flees
Not
the
surprising
field
as
like
he
a
stands
coward.
there just trying to fight with our
Light lancer.
superior archer units. So far they haven't really gone close even to
Units.
our battle lines.
Heavy pike.
Pikes, advance.
Double die.
I don't want to march my army straight, or my cavalry straight into...
Run. Quickly.
Oh, they actually broke my cavalry over there? The light lances. Clever bastards.
Unit. Make unit.
Let's get the cavalry in order, so I want to wait a little bit until their militia hoplites are kind of captured
Units.
or held
Run.
against my units there.
Units.
And then once... Oh, this one breaks already.
Cavalry. Attack. Heavy cavalry.
And this one is about to break as well, I imagine. There we go. Not entirely sure if I even want to call this a fight. As we break these bastards and send their army straight to the hills. They were able to gain one victory though by sending away one of my units, which I didn't like.
Attack quickly. Attack quickly.
Heavy pike.
Pike valley.
Re-establish the pike line.
Units. Run. Units. Units.
They didn't stand a chance. I mean, we're going for pretty easy victories here, but one should be reminded of what happened when we faced the Romans. Although I had poor troops there, but one can only imagine that a bigger Roman army and a more well-trained Roman army could be on its way. But here we go, the king
The
absolutely
enemy show their true
thrashes the
virtue. They are not
Thracians
soldiers, only
and send them
frightened
to the
rabbits running
hills.
from our men.
and we are in the battle.
This is a
So
heroic victory, worthy of Greek soldiers.
only about 500 enemies make it away, and they only are able to kill about 300 of ours. And it goes down to the cavalry. So the general's bodyguard is the one. Then it's a light lancer with 400, a Macedonian cavalry at 366, and so on. Another light lancer here of 442. What did my cavalry do? Or my archers? The Thracian archers, 170. And the peltas. Both the peltas got about 50 each, which isn't that great. Highest casualties sustained from one of the light lancers. It was kited away there, and I wasn't paying attention, and it got sent off. No casualties healed, and it sustained 122. Maybe it was completely lost. Who I don't know. Clear victory though. I don't know if I would call it a clear victory. Probably devastating victory, given that we completely destroyed Captain Spartacus and his army. But there you have it. The Thracian threat was destroyed within just a couple of turns of their supposed attack. Still, some of the army remains, but
Victory!
comparatively, what they started off with, one unit didn't even fight, really. If we had managed to attack that one and that one militia cavalry as well, we could have probably completely destroyed the army. Now for the interesting bit. Let's go ahead and see how the power stacks up now. Where do we have there? And military ranking drops even further. Maybe if I end turn, then it will drop even further than that. We'll march back towards the capital.
Orders.
My intention is to reorganize the army and then march to meet... first it looked like it was a full stack, but it's just the faction heir. Anyways, we're gonna march down here, regroup, and then march on Byzantium and then to the north, where their capital is, and then even further north to capture that town as well. However, at this point, looking at the time, it's time to end this episode. So, hopefully you enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.